It's Luke and Naomi.
Okay, 2 weeks in a row. We're back to 2 weeks in a row now.
We are.
Not back on Mondays, but back on 2 weeks in a row. Welcome back to Luke and Naomi on air, featuring Naomi's Under a Rock review, episode 85.
Look, we're trying, okay?
We're getting there.
It's hard to get back into the gear of things after a vacation, and then life has been really busy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Stuff's been going on.
It happens, you know.
Yeah.
So welcome to episode 85, Luke and Naomi on air, featuring Naomi's Under a Rock reviews. I'm Luke Austin. That's Naomi Lynn. I've seen a bunch of movies. Naomi is working on it,
Working on it.
but has not.
No.
So if you haven't seen it, relive it for the first time through Naomi's eyes. If you've never seen it either, we'll tell you if you should or what at least Naomi thinks of it. So we've got a good one for Gladiator coming up. I haven't seen Gladiator in a minute, so it was fun to watch it again. It's a great movie, in my opinion.
Gladiator was one of those movies that was always on in the background, and I've seen like 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, but that's about it. So it was really, really interesting to actually finally put all the pieces together and watch the whole thing and understand the story behind it. So,
All right, great. So we got a great review of Gladiator coming up. I'm excited for that. I just like reliving that movie. It's a fun movie, like I said. So as we've been doing for the last couple of episodes, and we're going to until something bad or good happens, we've got an update on the plants, the garden, I guess you could call it, the porch garden.
yeah, they're growing well. Our peppers have flowers, so we are right there. We're going
Yep.
to see some peppers soon.
Looking good. We did have a couple of flowers fall off, or it looks like they were pinched off
It was probably a bird.
at like the base.
Yeah.
So if anybody knows anything about peppers, like tell me what the hell's happening there.
I'm going to blame the birds.
All right.
It's always the birds' fault.
All right, always the bird's fault. All right, so yeah, the plant's doing well. We'll see how that goes. I'm looking forward to getting some tomatoes growing.
That's right.
And
We've got the flowers there too, but no actual little green tomatoes showing up yet.
that's right. But
Gotta
patience,
give it time.
right? Patience
yeah.
is a virtue and all of that stuff. It'll be fun either way. So we are sort of a movie podcast. I mean, right? Half of every episode we spend talking about movies.
Yeah.
And I came across this article about movies, movie props that had been thrown away or trashed somehow inadvertently, and I thought it was fitting. So I got a couple of them here. You've seen The Goonies.
Yes.
So Sean Austin's mother threw away the treasure map from The Goonies.
Aw.
Like the One-Eyed Willie treasure map
I
from The
feel
Goonies.
like that's something you got to keep forever.
Yeah, right. And I imagine, he was probably pretty young when she did it, so it wasn't like he was all responsible and had it framed or in, some sort of commemorative case or anything like that. Which
No, absolutely not.
gets thrown out. Apparently, there was a painting of the Emerald City from Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
And I think I've heard this story before, and I think what it was like the painting that they used for the backdrop for, we're off to see the wizard, and then
Okay.
it's Emerald City in the background. But it was tossed by a salvage company, apparently, when they cleared out the MGM backlot.
Yeah, got to get rid of all this stuff. It's all trash.
I wonder what other kind of stuff they threw away
Probably some valuable
that
things.
we don't even know about,
Yeah.
from movie history and stuff like that. The scrumdiddlyumptious chocolate bars from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory got thrown away to thousands of them from the production lot because they were filming Cabaret, so they just had to make room and just threw them away.
Wow.
Instead of, it wasn't
That's
today, obviously, because they
that's
would have
a-
sold the hell out of those.
That's a terrible excuse. Yeah.
It really is.
It's chocolate. You're not going to throw that away. Come on now.
But can you imagine having one of those?
That'd be cool.
They say only one survived, but who knows, what's up with that.
Yeah.
The Death Star, the original Death Star from Star Wars.
Okay.
Fox didn't want to pay rent on a storage unit, so they threw it out. That's how the story goes.
That sounds fair enough.
Somebody out there has got to be holding on to that thing.
You would think, but I don't know.
Some weird guy's basement in Hollywood. Scarlett O'Hara's dress from Gone with the Wind was found in a throwaway pile on the floor at a costume company.
Wow. Yeah, this is trash. We don't need it. You think that'd be in a museum somewhere?
Right. Well, I think it is now, but yeah, right. And the most painful one for me. I'm a Goonies fan. Wizard of Oz is great. Chocolate Factory. Those chocolate bars would be great. Christmas Story, the original leg lamp, all of the lamps were thrown away by the 1990s.
Wow.
And so, not that I would ever be able to get my hands on one of the actual ones, but it's
And
still kind of a bummer.
even if you could, that's not going in the house. I'm sorry. It's just not happening.
I mean, we already have one.
Yeah, so you can't have a giant one and be like, hey, this was actually from the movie.
I do
We're
want a
not doing
full-size
that.
one. A full-size one would be awesome.
No, we are not doing that.
I think the lamp we have is full-size, but the actual leg is not.
Right.
So you don't want a
We're not
human-sized
going
leg.
any bigger than
Oh,
that.
man, I really
we
want.
don't need
Too bad
that.
all the originals got thrown away. So there we go. I thought that was a fun one for, the movie part of the whole deal.
Yeah.
This one I found is sad and depressing.
So you want to share that?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
The unhealthiest snacks on the planet.
Oh, that is sad and depressing. I don't know if I want to hear this.
So we've got our side video project called Sips and Snacks, where we head down to Fermental here in Wilmington, and we meet up with Ashley Rogers, and he matches up our, everyday off-the-shelf snacks, your childhood snacks and all of that, with a beer and a wine.
Yeah.
And a couple of those snacks happen to land on this list of
I figured that much.
the unhealthiest snacks on the planet.
Yeah. All right,
So
Kill me over
it's
here.
from Eat This, Not That, and Mott's fruit flavored snacks, number 12 on the list. I just want to put that out there because a lot of people eat these things going, oh, they're healthy, and
yeah, guilty.
they're fruit snacks. They're not healthy for you.
I thought because they're Mott's and they're like made with vegetables and fruit that it was good for you.
Loaded with sugar, and even though you find some fruit juice puree, this is according to Eat This, Not That, and concentrate in the ingredients list. The first two ingredients listed are forms of added sugar, corn syrup and regular sugar.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm devastated because those things are tasty.
It says just opt for real fruit, which can provide, all the stuff you need.
Yeah,
So
but real fruit isn't gummy. I want the fruit snack. I want.
freeze it a little bit. I don't know. The real fruit isn't gummy. That's wow.
I want
That's
the
sad.
candy aspect of it. Okay.
Great value chewy chocolate chip snack bars, which are, touted as granola bars. I mean, it says granola bars on their package. They're terrible for you. Same with Quaker chewy dips, chocolate chip and chocolate covered granola. Most granola bars are just so bad.
Right. Exactly. Most of those things are loaded with sugar, and if it's covered or dipped in chocolate, like, come on.
Yeah.
You have to realize
Who
that
we
that's not
kidding
good
here?
for you.
Who we kidding here?
Yeah.
Number 9 on the list, Twix candy bar.
I'm really bummed about that.
Moment of silence for one of your favorites.
Yeah, I love Twix.
Twix is good for you.
It's got cookie.
Very little fiber and protein, ton of added sugars,
Well,
just
of
like you would
course.
guess, right?
Yeah.
Donuts, Hostess donuts, the little donuts or
the
whatever.
little ones. Those are so good,
yeah,
too.
Yeah, terrible for you as
Those
well.
powdered donuts that are like that. Oh, yes.
The amount of added sugar in just 3 donuts is 72% of your recommended daily limit for
I don't
those.
care. I don't care.
Ruining everybody's day, one snack at a time. Number 7 on the list, Max Salt and Vinegar pork skins. If you ever thought pork skins are good for you, they're not.
I've never been a big fan of those, so I guess I luck out.
Yeah.
I'll have 2 Twix bars, and it will equal that.
Nacho cheese Doritos, number 6 on the list of the unhealthiest snacks on the planet.
Yeah, I figured that much.
Doritos, high in calories, fat, sodium, and the nacho cheese flavor specifically contains artificial flavors and preservatives that aren't good for you.
Yeah.
Number 5 on the list, Little Debbie Swiss rolls.
Aw, those are so good.
Ho-hos, that's what I would call. I mean, I know whatever, but ho-hos, that's what I would call them.
It's been a while since I've had one, so.
Yeah, 0 fiber, all the sugar, a full day's worth of sugar per package, per whatever, 2 rolls.
I could eat like 8 rolls in one sitting, and it'd be fine.
Number 4 is odd on the list, Turtle Chex Mix, which is like a very specific one.
But makes sense because turtle, it's the chocolate, it's the caramel, it's all of that. So, yeah, I can definitely see that. And then Chex Mix itself cannot be healthy for you,
Oh, yeah, no way.
So then add the chocolate and caramel on top of it and some, crushed cashews. There you go.
Homemade
that
might
can't
be
be
a
good.
little bit better, but no. Ritz Bits cheese sandwich crackers, number 3.
I haven't had those in forever.
Number 2, Smucker's Goober Grape. That's with the
sounds
peanut
gross.
butter and jelly together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What, is this eating a jar of it? Come on.
21 grams of added
How
sugar
is that
per
a
serving
snack?
is almost an entire day's worth of your sugar.
Yeah.
So the serving's got to be tiny.
Mm-hmm.
And the number one snack on the list of
How bad is this? Is this something we snack on?
the unhealthiest snacks on the planet. It's not something we snack on the regular, but if you want to find out what beer or wine pairs well with zebra cakes, you can check it out on Luke and Naomi on air on YouTube. Zebra cakes. Zebra
the
cakes.
zebra cakes.
Zebra cakes, the number one unhealthiest snack on the planet.
No. Just saying the name makes me want one right now.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. I don't care if it's the most unhealthy thing. If there was one in front of me right now, I'd eat it.
Absolutely, because 34 grams of added sugar
Tasty.
exceeds the recommended daily intake, and of course, no fiber or protein to sustain you until your next meal.
That's okay, though. That's okay.
That's
The zebra cakes.
it's sad, right? I mean,
It
like
is.
a total
I'm
bummer.
a little bummed out
a
about
total
that.
bummer. So there you go.
Twix and zebra cakes and Swiss rolls, like all the good stuff is on that list.
I mean, this is definitely not any kind of health food or healthy people's podcast.
no, God,
By any
no.
means at all, but I don't expect anybody to stop eating any of those things because we mentioned it. But it is just
Yeah.
sad to hear how just terrible everything is for you.
I know, but like you said, it's not going to stop us from eating it, especially knowing a beer and wine that pairs with those snacks.
Yeah, for real. But check that out also on our YouTube channel. Find out which ones pair right. That was a good one too, by the way. I just want to throw that out there.
It was one of my favorites.
It is one of my favorites as well. All right, I'll shut my sauce box and move on to the next topic.
Say what?
I got old-timey slang we should bring back.
All right.
I love
All right.
I love stuff like this, you know, the old words and whatnot. Reader's Digest did a list of old-timey slang terms we should bring back. Got a handful of them.
Okay.
Sauce box is one.
Okay.
It's a term for your mouth.
I kind of figured that. I gathered that from context.
From context.
There. Yeah.
You know, I'm sick of listening to you shut your sauce box.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I want to use that all the time.
Start using it.
Sauce box. Giggle mug is someone who smiles too much or constantly has a grin on their face.
Wow. I feel like that's kind of mean.
So it's the opposite of resting bitch face.
It's giggle mug.
Giggle mug. He's got
I'll
giggle
slap
mug.
that giggle mug right off your face. Wait, I don't think that works.
I don't.
Let me
that's mean
practice.
too. Why? They're smiling. You don't have to slap somebody for smiling.
You
All
don't
right.
have to, but you know.
This was kind of stupid. Arf, arf, and arf. Arf, arf, and arf.
Arf, arf, and arf.
It's an old British term, Brian. This is where you come in. We got to find out if this is legit. An old British term for a drunk person. Like, don't give him a beer. He's already arf, arf, and arf.
Huh. I kind of like it.
The term comes, they say, from a drink called arf and arf. That's half a beer and half an ale. And I feel like it's somebody trying to spell the accent.
I
honestly.
feel like it's more of somebody slurring their words to get arf, arf, arf,
Yeah,
arf,
pretty
you
much.
know?
Brian will report back, I'm sure.
Please do so.
He usually does. He's very reliable. Pumblechook is the next one. Somebody who's greedy and pompous. It's the name of a character in Great Expectations, Uncle Pumblechook. I love it.
It's interesting, that's for sure.
Pumblechook. He's a Pumblechook.
If I could remember to say it, I would love to like add that to my vocabulary, but it's not going to happen.
He's a Pumblechook, and he never shuts his sauce box.
That's right.
All right.
Beautiful. Very well done.
Gas pipes is the last one, a term for someone's legs when their pants are too tight.
Really?
Yeah. Look at that hipster with the stupid gas pipes.
I love it.
And then I was watching MASH after I saw this and was thinking, like, okay, I want to talk about this on the podcast. And I'm watching an episode of MASH, and Colonel Potter calls, I think it was Margaret, Skeezix.
Okay.
He's like, what's going on, Skeezix, or something like that. And I had to look it up because I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, what
And
does that
apparently
mean?
that's an old-timey term for troublemaker. Skeezix.
Skeezix.
I think it was a character maybe in a really old comic strip or some nonsense like that.
Interesting.
But yeah, Skeezix for troublemaker.
Okay.
Giggle mug, sauce box, arf, arf, and arf, Pumblechook, and gas pipes.
Gas pipes.
I dig the sauce box one.
I know you do.
All right.
I know. We're going to hear a lot more of that.
Yes, you haven't heard the last out of the sauce box.
That's right.
All right, now it is time for your recurrent dose of Did You Know. I studied the word before the episode so
He
that
practiced.
I could pull it up at will out of my mind because for some reason sometimes it escapes me. I've got some
It escapes you a lot.
I've got some random facts. It really does for episode 85. Let's see what we got here. Your weekly dose, recurrent dose of Did You Know. I effed it up anyway.
You did. You know, you were doing just fine, and you just kept going and dug yourself into a little hole.
Couldn't shut my sauce box.
That's right.
Did you know now that the weekend is over? What am I doing? Did you know the baby swim diapers don't absorb any liquids?
Okay.
They're made for liquids to pass through them so that babies can swim. So, yeah, what you're thinking.
So the diaper is useless.
Only for poop.
Okay.
Only
All
for
right.
poop. So if there's a baby swim diaper in the pool with you, you're getting pissed on.
Yep.
Did you know?
Most likely that's already happening, even if there isn't a kid with a diaper on. Just saying. We all know.
Most likely.
We know.
Most likely. Did you know graham crackers were invented by an evangelical minister named Sylvester Graham?
No.
Because he believed grains were the key to suppressing people's sex drives.
Huh.
Or just have
Okay.
them swim in a pool with babies in swim diapers.
There you go. That'll solve that problem.
Also, did you know graham crackers in England are called digestive biscuits?
That I did know. Yes.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Little bonus there. Speaking of Brian. Did you know more than half of the 100 largest lakes in the United States are man-made?
I did not.
That is like fun to try to wrap my mind around. I like that fact a lot. Like it makes me want to go to your local library and read more about the U.S. lakes. You know
It's
what I
very
mean?
interesting.
It does. It does. It does is interesting. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll be okay. Did you know Babe Ruth didn't pick the number 3 for his jersey? He was assigned it because he batted third.
Makes sense.
But that, it's famous Babe Ruth 3,
Yeah.
all of that stuff. And finally, it is that time of year, fantasy football time.
Yeah.
Did you know the first fantasy football league started in, you want to guess?
I have no idea.
1962.
Okay.
There you go. I mean, I've been playing since 02, but 1962, that is a long time to be having some fantasy football.
Yeah.
Last episode, we threw it out there. We said, Satan's gone soft
That's right.
and has opened up a lighter version of hell. Heck.
That's right. Heck is now open.
Heck is now open and now serving semi-torture.
That's right.
And heck, if you saw the post on Facebook, you saw the wet socks.
Yeah. Gross.
Just, nope, your socks got to be wet. Mm-hmm. Anytime you take your shoes off, your socks are instantly wet. Like
How
you
about
stepped in water.
sand on your feet and then you put socks on? Like, that feeling is rough too.
Yeah, sand is a good one because just sand.
It gets everywhere.
You can, yes, it does, Anakin. Yeah, you can never get away from sand at all. So I think
You
just sand. That's the torture. Sand.
Sand.
So we had some good ones. I like this. Mark D says when he plays his slice and aims left, he hits the longest and straightest ball, which is the opposite of what he's trying to do.
Sounds about right. Yeah, that's what would happen in Heck.
Yeah. Jasmine says a highway going through town where the stoplights aren't timed correctly and you inevitably end up hitting every red light. And she said, oh, wait, that's the city I live in.
Yep.
Yeah. She said she may or may not be speaking from experience. I said, so Wilmington? Because that's seems like that sometimes here.
Yes, yes,
anyway.
it does.
I want to point out, Snowman, that downtown Roswell has never seen traffic compared to,
It had traffic
especially
once.
California where Jasmine is. But it had traffic once. Is that when the 4th of July UFO festival's
That's
in town?
right. When Main Street is blocked off.
That's right.
That's when it has traffic.
That's the one time.
Yeah, foot traffic.
There is no traffic in Roswell, New Mexico. Dallas says, having listened to Be in the Breakfast Club on 105.1 because there's no other morning radio show without music in the area.
Aw.
Sorry, Dallas.
Yeah, we're sorry.
Yeah, that's why we ramble on and do these long podcasts. So you
That's
can
right.
listen to us as long as possible, at least once a week.
That's right.
And maybe stretch it to 2 mornings
You can try.
if you have to.
Yeah.
Just listen to old ones. That'll get
That's
you
right.
through.
Just keep like
Pump the numbers
reruns.
up for us.
Yeah.
Snowman himself says, no remotes for electronics, so you have to walk to the TV to change the channel.
That's a good one. Yes,
Or,
absolutely.
any other electronics. Now everything's got, you buy the cheapest thing. It comes with the remote.
Yeah. Fans come with remotes. Everything has a remote to it.
I mean, I do dig that. I like the fans and the air conditioners with the remotes.
Of course.
Hey, come on. Nope, that's not
Well,
enough.
and heck, nope, you have
None
to
of
get
it.
up
None of it.
and change the setting on your fan.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I hate it. Brando says he would say utensils are gone. You have to use like chopsticks for everything.
Oh, there you go.
I mean,
Take you longer to eat everything.
I can use chopsticks, but
How well, though? Can you eat every single meal with chopsticks?
I imagine you get good fast. That's the punishment. You have to use chopsticks, and you're perpetually bad
Yeah.
at using chopsticks.
You never get any better.
Yeah. And then he says, and the only sport available to watch on TV is golf.
That's good.
Also, there's an overabundance of mosquitoes.
Oh, gosh. Wow.
Now you're leaning on hell categories there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dang, the
that's funny.
mosquitoes just being itchy all the time.
That's a
Ugh.
good one. What else we got? So, yeah, those are our favorite ones. Todd says warm beer.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we totally missed. How the hell did we miss that one?
I don't know.
And
Every time you get a beer, it's warm.
I still say the whole wet jeans, like wet jean cuffs, and you have to be barefoot, like full on, no socks too, and wet jean cuffs. That's one
Just
for
so
me.
you can feel the wet jean on your ankle.
Just wintertime. Remember that you would get that every now and then.
Of course.
Oh God, that's terrible.
Awful.
So that would be mine, I think, for sure.
Okay.
Did you come up with any new ones at all?
Well, I was thinking about it because I suffer sometimes at work, where I'm always suffering at work, where like you're in a room that's very hot, but the AC is blasting, but just one part of you. So like your left arm is frozen, but the rest of you is a little sweaty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wherever you sit, and heck,
Yep.
that's what happens. You have a
excellent.
huge AC blasting at one part of your body. That's it.
And the other part is just super hot. So,
Getting a little sweaty. Yeah,
That's good.
absolutely.
That's good. Excellent answers. I like them. You can keep those coming while you're commenting on the new one for this week. This one, I feel like, is easy on its face, but when you get thinking about it, it's going to be tough.
Before you get to that,
Okay.
didn't Brian have an answer for us?
Oh, Brian did have an answer for us. Thank you very much. I got Brian's answer
You were
this
gonna
morning.
skip him.
Brian says his punishment in heck is being forced to go vegan.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be tough. Here's some lettuce.
That's right.
Dry your tears with this kale.
And he actually
Here's a bell pepper.
he sent a vegan joke along with it, but I
Okay.
feel like my dad jokes at the end of the show are weak, so I'm going
They've
to close.
been really bad.
I'm going to close with Brian's joke. And, if you are new to the show, Brian has sent us multiple dad joke books, which
Yes.
sustained us through, 60 of the 85 episodes.
That's right. Multiple books.
Multiple books.
Yeah. That's a good way to end
yeah.
it. I'm here for it.
So you have to try to remind me also, because I forgot Brian's comment. So hopefully I don't forget Brian's joke.
I will do my best.
All right, cool.
I'm pretty confident. We'll see what happens.
All right. So for next episode, again, immediately it's like, oh, that's easy. But like, if you only had to pick one, what one song would you be okay never hearing again? Because you probably go 40 of them jump in your head. So
Taylor Dane, Tell It to My Heart.
that is an excellent one. Because it was on a commercial for a while, too, that got stuck in your head.
If I never hear that song again, I think I'll be okay.
I mean, they're Round and Round by Rat hops into my head immediately.
Okay, yeah.
And
yeah.
of course, Naomi and I with the radio experience do have a little bit more time hearing, certain songs that it's probably like, yeah, we don't need. Kid Rock's All Summer Long.
I knew you were going to name that one.
That's the one.
You know why I knew Luke was
Tell
going to
him.
name that one?
Tell him why.
Yes, I am. I am going
Tell
to
him
share
why.
this insight to our days back when we were doing radio in New Mexico. So I would schedule the music on
right.
the Country Giants.
The music director.
Yep. And I would, pick what songs were playing, where they fell, try to keep the flow of the station and all of that.
That's right. So if you liked the station back then, it was all Naomi.
Every time that song would come on, I could hear Luke groan from the other room. I could hear him complaining, I hate that song. I hate that song. Can't we just get rid of that song? I've heard it so many times. You know what I did? I pulled it from rotation.
That's right, she did.
I made Luke wait though.
That's
you
love
know?
right there. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, but I did pull it from
Maybe a little
rotation.
abuse of power too, but that's love for sure.
You abused your power as my husband.
Yes, that's where the abuse of
I
power
did
came.
sneak
Not
it
you.
back in later.
I have heard that song more times than I care to in a lifetime. And at first it was like, oh, it's not a bad song, but like that, the hook or whatever it is from Werewolves of London, the piano, just kills me because they don't let it. It just constantly.
Is
over
that your
and over.
answer? Because I feel like it should be.
Yes, that's. I'll change my. I'll listen to Round and Round by Rat for the rest of my life if I never have to hear Kid Rock's all summer long.
Okay.
Ever again.
Okay.
Ever again.
I have to think. I mean, Taylor Dane, Tell It to My Heart, is definitely up there. But if it's only one, if I only get to pick one, I have to think about that. Because there's quite a few songs that I'm just like, nah, I'm done with those.
Yeah, that's why. So you got to pick one. We're gonna go one song because we could all come up with a list.
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
easy enough. But we like a little challenge around here, I think. So
That's right.
Pick one. Give us one, and if you want to cheat, top three is fine. I've already given out two, so if you want to cheat with top three, fine. But try to pick one. I want to see if we can come up with a good list. You know
I
what
think
I mean?
we can.
That's right. So, confidence is there. Really looking forward to seeing those answers. Luke and Naomi on air on Facebook. And you can comment now on Spotify.
Which is cool.
And you've always been able to comment on YouTube, so you can do so there on the episode as well. That about wraps up all the housekeeping and
That's right.
other stuff. I think now it is time. And I'll just go ahead and hit the button. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. It is time for Naomi's Under a Rock review of Gladiator. Russell Crowe.
Yes.
We talking 99? No, it's 2000. I've only seen this a couple of times, and I can't, watching it the other night, I was like, man, I really should have watched this hella more times.
That's right.
Because it's so great. All right, take it away with the Gladiator review.
Like I mentioned before, this is one of those movies that has always been on in the background, and I was not paying attention at all. I would get 5 minutes of dialogue or a fight scene or something, go, meh, I don't know what's going on.
Was it like
and
you
walk
just didn't
away.
care? Somebody else was watching it? Or
Yeah, absolutely. It was always somebody else was watching it. I kind of walk in the room and go, okay, and then go out and do something else. So I actually finally sat down and watched this. So we meet Maximus right off the bat. He's part of the Roman army as they're fighting Germania.
Yeah.
Have quite the battle scene. I've noticed we have quite a few fight scenes in this movie. I guess I should have realized that. Catapults.
Didn't see that coming in a movie called Gladiator, huh?
Well, I saw some. Well, I did, but some of them were very, very long, and sometimes I feel like it wasn't needed. Especially the first one, where we've got this battle scene. We got catapults. They're launching these flaming containers. We got flaming arrows raining down, and we got sword fighting and yelling, blood, everything. You know, the whole 9 yards there. Maximus is in the heart of it, sword fighting, killing people. I'm guessing he gets taken prisoner or something and will have to become a fighter and just basically not have a choice, Maybe not, though,
right.
because apparently it looks like they won. So he's not going to become a prisoner.
Oh, never mind.
I guessed wrong there. So Maximus is the hero. Caesar calls him Rome's greatest general. Everyone is congratulating him for the victory. Then we meet, let me make sure I can do this right, Commodus?
Commodus, yes.
Commodus. We meet Commodus, who seems to be plotting for when he takes over the Roman Empire, if he even does that. Looks like Caesar is his father. He's busy talking with senators and politicians, and then he pulls Maximus aside and is like, we need to save Rome from the politicians. Can I count on you? And Maximus is like, I just want to go home and back with my family. Apparently he's a farmer. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Spanish farmer.
Yeah. I don't really trust this Commodus guy. I don't think he's going to let Maximus just go back to his farm and do what he wants.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah. Played the part very well.
So well.
Yeah. So Caesar and Maximus meet. They talk for a little while. Caesar tells Maximus that there's one thing he has to do before he can be released from his duties, and that is to take over his spot and then give the power back to the people. Now, he mentions all the corruption and knows that Maximus could do the right thing. Like, he could get all the power and would do the right thing and give it back to the people. But even if Maximus agrees to it, Caesar's actual son, Commodus, is not going to be okay with this. He's going to want that power. So Maximus ends up telling him no, but Caesar explains why it has to be him and gives him until sunset to basically agree. In the meantime, Caesar tells his son that he will be giving power to Maximus, not him. Obviously, you can tell he's pretty pissed off. He then begins to cry, telling Caesar he just wanted to be loved, that no matter how hard he tried, he could not earn the approval of his father. It's actually kind of like a sad scene for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, right.
Caesar is on his knees telling him, it's his fault. It's not his son's fault. He failed as a father, all of this. At this point, I think Commodus is going to kill him. If he kills him now, power isn't going to go to Maximus because nobody knows. It'll go to him. So, yep, that's exactly what happens. He kills his father. Probably saw that coming because of all the Game of Thrones. We've been rewatching, so basically everybody's got to die, right?
Yeah, we have been doing a lot of really hard binge through the original series.
Yeah.
So now watching Gladiator is like,
everybody's going to die.
Yeah. I don't expect to see him much longer.
Nope. So he kills his father. He then tells Maximus that his father had passed away in his sleep, and he asks him to help the Roman Empire. But Maximus storms out because he knows the truth. He knows what happens, or had happened. He knows that he was killed.
Yeah.
He wants to talk with the senators, but that's not going to happen. He knows Caesar was murdered, like I said. He's basically arrested at this point, and they're told they're going to ride a ways out of the area and execute him.
Yeah.
I was really bummed at this point. I mean, for all that he's done for Rome, and now he's going to be executed. All for nothing,
All for naught.
Yeah.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you either win or you die.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you play Gladiator, too, apparently. So they take him out, but he's able to fight them off and kill them, and then he rides off. He heads back to his home, but on the way there, he realizes that the soldiers are probably heading that way, too, to kill his son and his wife. So he speeds up, runs with the horses to get there as fast as he can. He gets there, and it's bad news. There's smoke in the distance. He definitely did not beat the Roman soldiers. He gets up to his house. It looks like his wife and son were burned and then hung. And at this point, I'm just saying, this poor guy. I'm starting to not like this movie. He didn't do anything. Actually, he did great things.
Yeah, right.
He was a farmer, and now he became this great general, led the Roman Empire to victory and all that, and he just wanted to go home. And now, his home is burned, and his wife and son are murdered, and all of that. And it just sucks. I know it's a movie, but I feel bad for him.
A good setup for him to become a hero, right?
That is true, yes. So anyways, he passes out in the dirt, what looks like maybe graves that he had dug. He's picked up by some men. I think he's their prisoner, and I'm guessing that this is where we're going to get into the whole Gladiator part of the movie. Fighting for his freedom, maybe, or at least for others' enjoyment.
The amount of Game of Thrones we've been watching, it really had us... it's just easy to see what's kind of coming in Gladiator after watching so much Game of Thrones.
Absolutely. Pretty sure that's where they got a lot of their ideas from. Just fitting, So Maximus is sold into slavery to be a fighter and to die, basically. The man who bought him, Proximo. He bought a handful of others and told them that he gets profits from their death. Like, what a horrible thing to hear right before you die. Like, hey, when you die, I'm going to make money. So, goodbye.
That's just how it is.
All right, so they're taken to this arena to fight, but it seems so unfair. They're chained to another person, so I feel like if your partner sucks, they're going to get you killed.
It's like the Roman Colosseum stuff, and you're over here going, it seems so unfair.
It is unfair. I think I'd probably kill my partner so they don't, hold me back or weigh me down so I can get to what I need to do.
Well, the big dude, I forgot, what was his name? But there's the big dude that they fought with for a while, and... that first one, they come out and he's chained to the guy who's cowering and screaming.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was funny to me. I don't know.
I'd be like, come on, man. Like, either help me out here or you gotta go.
Hagen. That's the big dude's name.
But yeah, so I figured it should be a free-for-all. This seems like it's going to get a little messy. But also, at the same time, who thought killing each other was a good form of entertainment? I really don't get that at all. How could you just watch someone, like, fight and die right in front of you for entertainment? Like,
Pretty
that
crazy.
person is dead. I don't know. I don't get it. All right. Anyways, everyone is chained to a partner. Everyone is killing everybody. And, of course, Maximus and his partner are left standing because, you know, he's such a great fighter. We already know that.
That's right. And a good general.
That's right.
Yeah.
Commodus starts taking on his role as emperor and is already doing a terrible job. He thinks he knows better and even threatens some of the senators. We learned that Rome is going to be hosting 150 days of games, including gladiators in the Colosseum. Proximo, yeah, 150 days, though. This is a long time.
It's like a basketball season.
There you go. Proximo meets with Maximus, tells him he's good, but not that good. Like, he needs help. He wants to help train Maximus so he's even better and so that he can win back his freedom. They arrive at the Colosseum, and it's more massive than anyone seemed to expect. As they stand there, it's like 10 or so of these gladiators. Maximus is telling them, whoever comes out of these gates, if we don't fight together, you know, we're not going to survive. If we fight together, we have a better chance of living. At this point, I'm thinking, it's got to be lions. Lions are coming out
I know
of
you
here.
were hoping for lions. It's so funny.
It was. And it wasn't, though. I made a lot of bad guesses throughout this movie. I thought I could see what was coming. I mean, like, I saw Caesar dying and all of that kind of stuff. But, man, I was making some bad calls where I thought I knew what was going to happen.
Waiting for the lions that never came.
No lions. We do get tigers later, but no lions. It was soldiers on chariots, but they come in and the fighting begins. And they have arrows, too, bow and arrow. So not really a fair fight, but we've learned that's kind of how it goes.
There you go.
Anyway, they are considered the barbarians. They were called the gladiators.
Because they were reenacting the Battle of Carthage, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So they were the barbarians. They end up winning. So, of course, everyone's like, I'm pretty sure that's not how the story goes, but okay.
That's right.
Commodus asks the man riding on the horse who he is. And everyone's like, oh, they call him the Spaniard. He said he'd like to meet him. The Spaniard, it's Maximus.
Yeah,
you know.
right. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah. So, you know, obviously Commodus has no idea that it's Maximus because he's got a helmet covering his face. All of this should be pretty interesting, you know, when they do finally meet. Just saying. And apparently that's what's going to happen right away. I thought when he said, I'd like to meet this guy, that it's going to happen eventually. I didn't realize he was getting out of his seat right then and there to go down to like the Colosseum floor and meet the Spaniard. Surprise.
She's been practicing so much to try to say Commodus. And I don't know where you got Amadeus in there from. But
did I?
You got Commodus going on.
What is this supposed to be?
Commodus.
Commodus.
Amadeus.
Commodus.
You were practicing. You had halfway through.
Well, you know, I was getting a little fancy with it. That's all.
That's right.
All right.
He's trying to throw that extra little French in there.
Commodus.
That's right.
Goes into the ring and tells the Spaniard to rise. He asks him for his name. Maximus says his name is Gladiator and turns and walks away. Commodus is pretty pissed at this point. You know, you don't turn your back on me. What's your name? And he tells him to remove his helmet. At this point, my heart is racing. I'm not kidding.
Oh, boy.
Like, is he actually going to do it? Because he can't. He can't pull off his helmet and say who he is. He can't turn around. He can't face this guy because he's supposed to be dead, you know? Oh, my God, he does.
Oh, my God, he does.
He mentions his real name. Commodus has...
He mentions his real name. You're going to gloss over the speech and everything?
Yeah.
You really are. Father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife.
Yeah.
And I shall have my vengeance in this life or the next.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what he says.
So that happened. He mentions his name.
The most important, but he says who he is and, like, just turns and faces it. I mean, like, that in itself right there is just, like,
great
ballsy.
Scene, right?
Yeah.
One of the, more popular scenes from 2000 on in any movie.
Yeah. Definitely good.
Yeah.
Commodus, He's got to be shaking in his boots at this point or something. His guards rush forward, but the crowd starts booing. The crowd begins chanting, "Live, live, live." So now the emperor is in this tight spot. You kill him, you're going to make the people hate you. Let him live, well, then he's probably going to kill you sooner or later. He lets him live.
He lets him live.
Yeah. Later, his sister visits Maximus and explains that they want the same thing, Commodus dead. But Maximus is angry about his family and about the attempt to murder him, obviously, and all that, and is basically like, the old me is dead. Just leave me alone right now. Back at the Colosseum, we have another battle getting underway. Maximus is taking on the undefeated champion, Tigris?
Yeah.
I think his name was?
Tigris of Gaul.
Yeah. To make it even more interesting, they've got tigers. See, no lions, but we get some tigers here.
Good tiger action.
Yep, some tigers in the pit. So someone's getting eaten by a cat. I'm guessing it's not going to be Maximus. All right, so nobody gets eaten by a tiger. I was kind of hoping
Nope, that's
for that.
where the movie ends. He made it all this way, and then the tigers eat him.
Well, I would assume, Tigris was going to get eaten by a tiger, but apparently that didn't happen either.
That would have been cool.
Yes, but Maximus disarms the other guy, and the crowd chants, "Kill, kill, kill." The emperor gives him the thumbs down, signal to kill the other man. But Maximus doesn't do it. He defies the emperor. Pretty sweet move when he does that. Yeah, you don't tell me what to do. Definitely making a name for himself. Throws down the axe, and the crowd continues to cheer for him. Maximus, Maximus, Maximus. You know that's driving the emperor mad. Absolutely.
And just Joaquin Phoenix is so good. His facial expressions and all of that
He's
stuff.
such a brat.
He really sells the Joffrey before Joffrey and all of that stuff.
Yes.
Very well. Very well.
Just the facial expressions, the points where he cries, and gets mad and all that. He just is a psycho.
Absolutely.
And he does it so well.
Yeah.
All right, so Maximus's old friend Cicero finds him, and they talk, but only for a quick second. Maximus asks him how soon would his people be ready to fight. Cicero says, "For you, tomorrow." Then they tell the emperor's sister that Maximus will meet with the senator, who knows the corruption and all of that's going on. They know what happened with Commodus and what he murdered his father and all of that kind of stuff. She asked Maximus before to meet with this senator, and he had no interest, but now it's okay, let's do something about this. We can. So they talk. Maximus is free me and I'll ride to where my army is. We will kill Commodus, take the city, and then leave. He's so you're going to take over Rome and then just give the power back to the people? And he's yeah. Because he would. While everyone is plotting.
The guy's yeah, sure.
Yeah, and he's just yeah, I don't want to be a part of this. I just want to go home.
That's right.
While everyone is plotting Maximus's escape, the emperor's nephew is playing with a wooden sword. The emperor's isn't it too late to be playing? He's I'm Maximus, the savior of Rome. Now, I've been watching Game of Thrones too much lately because I'm pretty sure he's going to die for saying that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so he doesn't die, which is good. We don't need to see a nephew dying.
It's that Game of Thrones seeping in one more time.
Oh, yeah.
It felt like that, though. They gave you that good feeling.
It did.
Yeah.
But he is sitting with the emperor, and he made it very clear he knew what his sister was conspiring. He knew that his sister was conspiring against him. It's actually a really painful scene. You can see the fear in her eyes as he's just telling this story, but it's actually about his sister, and again, knowing that she's conspiring against him and sneaking
she's
around.
Terrified he's going to kill the kid
and herself, but you can see the betrayal in his eyes too, which is oh man, just a whole nother level of that's rough. That's really rough. Again, he does a great job with it. Even though he's a scumbag, you do feel a little bad for him.
Even though he's a scumbag.
Well, scumbags have feelings too. Meanwhile, Maximus is working on his big escape. The soldiers are in there. They came for him, but the rest of the slaves are we stand and we fight with you. So they're all killing everyone while Maximus is able to escape. He gets out through a back tunnel where his friend is waiting for him. His friend screams out his name, and then the horse that he's on runs off, leaving him to be hung in a tree he was standing under. Very intense scene. Did not see that coming. Was curious too, because especially when he screams out his name, I'm why would you do that? And it's oh, I get it.
It's a
it
trap.
It was a trap, and he was warning him, and it cost him his life.
Yeah.
Maximus runs up to him, and he's saying he's sorry and all that, and then the soldiers shoot 3 arrows in him. The guy that's hanging, obviously, not Maximus. Then more soldiers show up from the top of the walkway from all the sides. Maximus is surrounded. There is no way he's going to be able to fight his way through this. So now we cut to the senator walking up to the emperor. It's now morning. He says, it's done. So apparently he's dead or something. But I'm going to believe that this senator is conspiring too. Maybe all the soldiers were. Because Maximus can't be dead right now. He's the savior of Rome. I'm going to believe they told Commodus that. And it's not actually true. So I'm like half right here. Because he apparently isn't dead. But he also didn't get away.
Right.
Then we find out that Commodus is the total creep that we knew he was. Like, we knew he loved his sister a little too much, but he's now basically forcing her to love him, and he's like threatening to kill her kid and her, and like he even says like she's gonna provide him with an heir.
Yeah, he went full Lannister there.
Yes,
or
he did.
Targaryen, or however you want to look at that.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
All right.
Watching all the Game of Thrones, though, definitely softened the blow for that one, I imagine.
It did. If I didn't see Game of Thrones first, I would have been like shell-shocked. That's like, oh, okay, it's like 3 of the houses that already do that nasty stuff together. All right, so now we cut to Maximus. He is alive, but like I said, he didn't get away. He's chained up in the Colosseum, but the crowd still cheers for him, which is pretty awesome. The Emperor meets Maximus and tells him that he's going to fight him in the arena, which I think pretty ballsy move for a pathetic man. But okay, But then he stabs Maximus and tells his soldier to conceal the wound and put his armor on. That makes a lot more sense. He needs that handicap. I hope he still loses. And he does. They battle it out, but Maximus is still able to kill him before he dies. The crowd ends up carrying Maximus out and leaves the Emperor dead on the ground. It's sad. You see Maximus die, but he's reunited with his wife and his son in the afterlife, and it actually gives it kind of a happy ending.
Sort of lightens the
blow that the main character is dead. And so did like all the good people in the movie, all dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is that your Gladiator review?
That is my Gladiator review.
All right. Anything you want to add before we get to the questions?
No.
So quickly, the guy who played Proximo, there's this story that goes around about him. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's on IMDb as well. Not that that's, anything. The man, they say he died of a heart attack at a bar after downing 3 bottles of Captain Morgan's Jamaican rum, 8 bottles of German beer, numerous doubles of famous Grouse whiskey and Hennessy cognac, and beating 5 much younger Royal Navy sailors at arm wrestling. His final bar bill was about $600.
Okay.
About $600. It was in Malta, and I believe it was right at the end of filming this movie.
Huh.
If the legends are all true and stuff like that.
I'd like to believe that they are.
Proximo, a legendary alcoholic and drinker, and just outdrank everybody. And then, well, I guess he didn't outdrink everybody. If he ended up dying, that doesn't count, does it?
No, it doesn't.
But he won the arm wrestling, so there's that. That counts. That counts for sure. All right,
living the good life.
On to the questions. If this is your first Under a Rock review, we ask Naomi the same questions every movie. We get different answers after every movie, obviously. Number 1, did you catch the name of the movie in the movie? Did that one work for you, or is it too much when they just say Gladiator?
They said Gladiator a couple of times, but that part was good. So like, I'll take that.
Does that count a little bit?
I will. Yeah, I'll allow it.
Did you like it?
I did like it.
Liked Gladiator. You should. 24 years old. It holds up.
It's a good story,
Yeah, for sure.
The savior of Rome who just wants to go back to his farm and his family.
Yeah.
And then loses everything. So now, who cares? He can do whatever the hell he wants.
And he kind of does.
And he does. Oh, man. Yes, he does.
What did you know about it going in?
Just those pieces that I saw here and there. I know he's going to become a gladiator. I'm not stupid. But I didn't know how it was going to happen. Again, I tried to guess that right in the beginning that he was going to become a prisoner, and he wasn't. Not right, not in that first
Not immediately.
fight scene that I thought it was going to happen.
Yeah, right. You kind of think he's going to be just like a commoner who starts off as a gladiator, but no, kind of the other way around.
Yeah, I really didn't know anything about the movie.
Thoughts going in?
No, I assumed I would like it because, again, we're on a Game of Thrones roll right now, so how could I not?
Yeah, right. It lines right up perfectly.
Yeah.
What surprised you?
I don't know if anything really surprised me about the movie. Yeah, I don't think anything really surprised me.
Okay, nothing has to, but would you have liked it more or less if you saw it, stopped and paid attention to it when you were younger and it was on in the background, those times? If you had stopped and watched it then, you think you would have dug it?
I think I'd still like it, but I think I like it and appreciate it more now, paying attention really deep to the storyline.
All right.
Yeah.
The
hero that loses everything.
Makes sense. You're older, you can appreciate that stuff a lot more, of course. What was your favorite part?
I think every time that Maximus defied the Emperor.
Those are your favorite parts?
Absolutely.
You like
Because
that.
it was like, kill, kill, kill. And he's like, nah, man.
Nope.
Throws the axe aside. Now what, Emperor? What are you going to do? Because if you kill me, nobody's going to like you.
That's right. It was like a little bit of wrestling in there. A little WWE action.
That's
where
right.
You got to play the crowd and, the boss
Definitely
and all that stuff.
playing the crowd.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
So all of those moments. And he was, just him as a character was like, I'm not going to back down for anything. When Caesar first dies and Commodus is like, hey, I need you to help me.
Yeah.
It would be in his best interest to say, yeah, and
He's
then
like,
sneak
take my
away.
hand or whatever and all that stuff.
Yeah, but he's like, no, F you. Like, I'm out.
Yeah, for sure. Least favorite part?
When Commodus gets kind of Commodus, I hear it now.
Commodus.
Yes, when Commodus gets all weird with his sister, like that's gross.
Yeah, that is a bad.
Disgusting.
I mean, honestly, the scenes are great. The acting is awesome. My least favorite part of that whole movie is when he stabs him just before they fight. Like, you get all excited. You're like, oh, they're gonna fight like for legit, because you see Commodus training, and so he can fight.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, this would be a cool. Should be an even match. Let's go. And then the bastard just stabs him like that. It's like, oh my god.
Because he needs that. He needs that handicap.
Yeah. Would you recommend it to someone else who hasn't seen it?
Of course.
Good. Watch it again?
Yeah, I think so.
Would you stop if it's on TV?
Probably.
If it's on in the background, you're going to stop a little bit, watch a little bit longer this time?
Probably.
Are you happy you watched Gladiator?
Absolutely.
All right. Cool. Anything else you want to add about Gladiator before we wrap there?
No, I think, again, I really liked it. I think the acting in the movie was just phenomenal.
It was great. I can't remember if it won any Academy Awards or anything like that, but I know it was a big-ass deal when it came out.
But, I mean, like we mentioned it, Commodus is just so easy to hate.
Yeah.
Joaquin
Phoenix just kills
the
it.
facial expressions, the dweebiness of it, when he acts like he's so hurt and is like tearing up and all that, and you just want to be like, stop it, grow up or whatever. And then just the Maximus's like strength and just his personality and all that. It's just so well done. It's a very well done movie.
I'm interested to see. I don't know when we'll ever get to it, but they're Gladiator 2 comes out in a month or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, it's just part of the whole. We can't come up with a new idea. So
I don't think I would enjoy that. Where do you go from that?
It's. I don't believe it's going to be Maximus Decimus Meridius.
I thought it was Meridius. Yeah.
It's not going to be his story.
That's fine.
You know what
But
I mean?
still, like, what? You're going to follow another gladiator story? What is he going to do? The same thing? Defy a different emperor?
Also, I'm pretty sure Denzel Washington's in it, and
What?
no, just like, okay, Denzel's movies are great and stuff like that, but I'm not the biggest fan. He kind of plays the same character in every movie ever, and I can't picture Coach Boone / the dude from Training Day, in ancient Rome.
No,
So,
definitely not.
I can't.
Maybe it's modern day gladiator. It has nothing to do with Rome.
I do believe this one, they're...
It has to deal with football. There you go.
There you
Denzel
go.
Washington fits right in.
Dead. I do believe that they're like doing the Circus Maximus chariot racing thing, though. So they're kind of going,
okay.
that. That's what I saw in the trailer anyway.
Okay.
So, yeah, Gladiator 2.
Okay.
We'll get to that someday, maybe.
One day.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's it. That does it for our review of Gladiator. Naomi's under a rock review of Gladiator. We don't know what movie we're going to do next week. You will find out when you see us post episode 86.
That's right.
Because that's just how it works.
That is exactly how it works. All right, it's time for Thought of the Day.
Thought of the day, thought of the day. It's your thought of the day, thought of the day.
All right, so you gave me a hard time last week that I've done like too many dark ones or deep ones or ones that make you think too much.
You're always just killing my morale.
All right, so I got a better one for you. Are you ready?
I am ready.
There's only a handful of foods that are socially acceptable to eat out of a bucket.
I like it.
There you go.
That's a great
Something a little bit more lighthearted for you.
So yeah, you got, your seafood boils and stuff like
Uh-huh. And chicken.
Popcorn, maybe, chicken.
You're supposed to eat chicken out of a bucket.
Halloween candy.
Bucket of chicken.
Bucket of chicken.
Yeah.
I grew up with that phrase being so enticing and like appetizing,
When you think about it,
Bucket
that's
of chicken.
weird.
It is kind of a weird thing.
Yep.
It is a weird thing. Yeah, for
All
sure.
right, Luke, you going to leave us with a laugh?
I'm going to do my best. I have not forgotten Brian's.
All right.
And I'm going to actually, Brian, your joke is going to bat clean up here. So
Oh, so you have some crappy ones to start with?
I hope everybody likes it.
Okay.
So Brian's joke's going to anchor the whole thing.
Okay.
Are you ready? These are mine first, and then
Yeah.
Brian's will be last. Aladdin has been banned from the magic carpet race. Apparently, he's been using performance-enhancing rugs.
That's stupid.
That really
So stupid.
poop jokes aren't my favorite, but they're a solid number 2.
Come on. It's disgusting.
I love it. And,
Of course you do.
And Brian's joke, of course I do. I'm juvenile. Brian's joke, he said, a vegan said to me, people who sell meat are disgusting. I said, people who sell fruit and vegetables are grosser.
Ah, I get it, and I like it.
I thought that was
Grocer.
wonderful. I woke up to that this morning, by the way, which was like the first thing I read at all.
That's a
I
good
was
way to
like,
start the
That's
day.
great. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yep.
That's just fantastic. So thank you, Brian, for saving the dad joke segment.
That's right.
Definitely appreciate it. That's gonna wrap Luke and Naomi episode 85. Thanks for being here for as many episodes as you've been with us for. We appreciate you. If you were gone for a while and you came back, welcome back.
Yay!
If you're brand new, welcome in. We appreciate every minute, every second that you spend listening to our nonsense.
That's right.
We will be back next
It's
week.
fun nonsense.
It is. That's
Yeah.
right. We'll be back next week with episode 86. Like I said, don't know what movie we're going to do, but you will find out as soon as we do. That
Yeah,
doesn't make any
basically.
sense if I say that. It just makes no sense at all.
It's pretty close, though. Like, as soon as we find out is 5 minutes until we watch the actual movie, and then the next day we record. So
It's pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's
It's not
decent
exactly as soon as we know, but it's pretty darn close.
I love it. You'll find out as soon as we do. How about that? We'll just leave it there. We'll pretend it makes sense.
Okay.
All right. Episode 86 coming to you on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts.
Everywhere.
Amazon, I'm pretty sure I've got it up there. If you Google Luke and Naomi, we come up.
We come up.
You will find us, I promise. Check us out on YouTube. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button for us, and you'll get notified every time we post anything, including Sips and Snacks, which we've got a new one coming, I believe, this week.
We have it. It's ready to go.
Ready to go.
Yep.
Coming up soon. So be paying attention for that one. Okay, until episode 86, have some fun this week and be excellent to each other.
Love you. Bye.